The deepest place on Earth isn't on land. It's underwater, far deeper than Mount Everest is tall. So deep that if you dropped the entire mountain into it, the peak would still be more than 2 kilometers below the waves. This place is called the Mariana Trench, and it is the most hostile, alien environment on our planet. At its lowest point, known as Challenger Deep, the ocean floor plunges to nearly 11 kilometers, or almost 7 miles, below the surface. To put that into perspective, imagine standing at the bottom and looking up. Commercial airliners typically fly at an altitude of around 10 kilometers. So, at the bottom of the trench, you would have more water stacked above you than the entire column of air a plane flies through. The sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. But the depth isn't even the scariest part. The real killer is the pressure. At the surface, we experience what's called 1 atmosphere of pressure. It's the weight of the air above us, something our bodies are perfectly adapted to. But with every 10 meters you descend into the ocean, the pressure increases by another atmosphere. So, by the time you reach the bottom of the Mariana Trench, you're not just dealing with a little extra weight. The pressure is over 1,000 times stronger than at sea level. That's the equivalent of having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. It's a force so immense that it defies our everyday understanding of physics. What would happen to a human at that depth? You wouldn't just sink. You would be crushed instantly in a fraction of a second. Before your brain could even register what was happening, the pressure would obliterate you. Your lungs, which are mostly air, would collapse immediately. Your bones would shatter. The water in your cells would be violently compressed. Your body simply wasn't designed for this place. It's a realm where the laws of biology as we know them on the surface cease to apply. Humans were never meant to go there, and yet, despite these seemingly unsurvivable conditions, life exists. In the crushing blackness of the abyss, scientists have discovered a bizarre and resilient ecosystem. These creatures thrive in a world of complete darkness, where sunlight has never reached. There are no plants, no photosynthesis, no warmth. It is a world powered by chemistry and gravity. The animals that live here are like something out of a science fiction movie. Some, like the Mariana snailfish, have evolved to have soft, gelatinous bodies that can withstand the immense pressure. They don't have swim bladders filled with air like surface fish because those would be crushed. Instead, their cells are filled with special molecules that protect them. Other creatures are blind, having lost their eyes over generations because there is no light to see with. Some have developed their own light through a process called bioluminescence, creating ghostly glows in the dark to attract prey or find mates. They look like they belong on another planet. So what do they eat in this desolate world? They survive on whatever falls from the world above. This constant shower of organic material, dead fish, plankton, whale carcasses, and other debris is known as marine snow. It can take years for a single particle to drift down from the surface to the bottom of the trench. This slow, steady rain of nutrients is the foundation of the entire deep-sea food web. It's a testament to life's incredible ability to adapt and find a way, even in the most extreme places imaginable. For all its fascinating life, the Mariana Trench remains one of the least explored places on our planet. We actually have more detailed maps of the surface of the Moon and Mars than we do of the bottom of our own oceans. Why? Because getting there is an incredible technological and human challenge. Only a handful of people have ever made the journey to Challenger Deep. The very first was in 1960. Two men, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh, descended in a bathyscaphe, a deep-sea submersible called the Trieste. This wasn't a sleek submarine. It was essentially a giant steel sphere attached to a float. The walls of that sphere were over 12 centimeters thick, designed to withstand the crushing pressure. Even then, as they descended, one of the outer plexiglass window panes cracked under the strain. Imagine hearing that sound kilometers below the surface in a tiny metal ball. They reached the bottom, stirred up the silt, and stayed for just 20 minutes before beginning their long ascent. After that historic dive, more than 50 years passed before another human returned to the bottom of the trench. The director James Cameron made a solo dive in 2012, followed by a few more recent expeditions. But these missions are incredibly rare. Why? Because they are phenomenally expensive, outrageously dangerous, and offer almost no room for error. One small mechanical failure, one tiny leak at that depth, and rescue is impossible. There is no backup. There is no second chance. You are utterly alone in the most remote place on Earth, but here is the part of the story that should really bother you. Despite its profound isolation, a place colder than a refrigerator, darker than any night, and under pressure that can crush steel, we have contaminated it. On one of the recent expeditions to the trench, scientists found plastic. A plastic bag lying on the seabed at nearly 11,000 meters. A place that no sunlight reaches, where no human could possibly survive. And yet, our waste got there first. This discovery is a sobering reminder of our global footprint. It means that there is now no place on Earth, from the highest mountain peak to the deepest oceanic trench, that is untouched by human activity. We have managed to pollute a world we can't even visit. The Mariana Trench is not a mystery simply because it's hard to reach. It remains a mystery because we were never meant to be there. It's a fundamental part of our planet's system, a place governed by forces we can barely comprehend. Its existence reminds us that there are still frontiers, still forbidden zones that test the absolute limits of our technology and our understanding. If you want to explore more stories about extreme environments, forbidden places, and the astonishing limits of survival, make sure to subscribe. Because sometimes the most dangerous and fascinating places on Earth are the ones we know the least about. Thanks for watching.